Evelyn was born in a small, quiet village in Nigeria. She was a beautiful girl with smooth ebony skin, big round eyes, and a radiant smile that could light up the darkest room. But despite her beauty, Evelyn's life was far from easy. Her parents had passed away when she was just 6 years old, leaving her alone in a world that was often harsh and unforgiving. None of her relatives wanted to take her in, so she grew up by herself, surviving on the kindness of a few neighbors and the small farm her parents had left behind. Evelyn's chubby figure made her the target of cruel words and bullying from other children in the village. Even as she grew older, the teasing didn't stop. While other girls were slim and admired for their perfect looks, Evelyn's fuller body was seen as undesirable. Suitors came to her friends' doorsteps, but never to hers. The whispers and taunts chipped away at her confidence. And at 24, Evelyn decided she had had enough. She packed her few belongings and left for Lagos, the bustling city of dreams. She used her small savings to rent a tiny room in a crowded neighborhood. It wasn't much, but it was hers, a place to start fresh. Evelyn had a talent for hairstyling, something she had learned from watching women in her village. With a small borrowed mirror and a plastic chair, she set up a modest hairstyling business. At first, it was slow, but her warm smile and skillful hands soon began to attract customers. One day, a customer mentioned a gym nearby. Curious, Evelyn decided to visit. She had always thought gyms were only for the wealthy or the slim, but when she stepped inside, she saw women of all shapes and sizes. For the first time, she realized she wasn't alone. Over time, Evelyn began working out, not to lose weight but to feel strong and healthy. She started eating balanced meals, drinking plenty of water, and embracing her body. Her confidence grew, and her hairstyling business flourished. People came from far and wide to have their hair braided by Evelyn, the talented and kind stylist with the glowing skin and bright smile. One afternoon, a young man named Andrew walked into her shop. He had a charming smile, deep dimples, and a presence that made everyone stop and stare. Andrew asked for small braids, and Evelyn, though surprised, agreed. Why would a man with such short hair need braids? She wondered, but Andrew kept coming back, week after week, asking for tiny touch-ups or new styles. Evelyn noticed he didn't really need them, and his visits seemed more about spending time in her shop than about his hair. One day, as Evelyn was finishing his braids, Andrew finally spoke up. "Evelyn," he said softly. Evelyn looked up. "I like you. I've been coming here for months because I wanted to get to know you. I admire your strength, your beauty, and your kindness. You're unlike anyone I've ever met." Andrew says nervously. Evelyn was stunned. No one had ever spoken to her like that before. Her heart raced as she looked into his warm, honest eyes. "You admire me?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. "Yes," Andrew replied. "From the moment I saw you, I knew you were special. I've just been too nervous to tell you, but I can't keep it to myself anymore." Tears filled Evelyn's eyes, but they were tears of joy and surprise. For the first time in her life, she felt truly seen and appreciated for who she was. From that day on, Andrew became a constant presence in her life. He supported her dreams, encouraged her to expand her business, and made her laugh like no one else could. Evelyn's hairstyling shop grew into a salon, and she began training other young women from the neighborhood. Evelyn and Andrew's love blossomed, and a year later, under the golden sun of Lagos, they exchanged vows in a small but beautiful ceremony. Evelyn walked down the aisle, radiant and confident, knowing she was loved not just by Andrew but by herself. Evelyn and Andrew had been happily married for 6 months when she decided it was time to return to her village. It wasn't an easy decision. The place held many painful memories, but she wanted to visit her parents' graves and show her husband where her story had begun. "Are you sure you're ready for this?" Andrew asked one evening as they sat on their balcony, the Lagos skyline shimmering in the distance. "Yes," Evelyn replied, holding his hand. "I've changed so much, and I want to face my past not with fear, but with pride. I also want you to see where I grew up." Andrew nodded, his love and support unwavering. The journey to the village was long, but the sight of the familiar dusty roads and thatched roof houses stirred a mix of emotions in Evelyn. She held Andrew's hand tightly as they approached the small clearing where her parents were buried. Evelyn knelt by the simple graves, her heart heavy but at peace. "Mama, Papa," she whispered, "I made it. I didn't let the pain break me. I wish you could meet Andrew. He's everything I ever prayed for." Andrew knelt beside her, silently offering his support. He placed a bouquet of wildflowers on the graves and said a quiet prayer. After paying their respects, Evelyn decided to walk through the village with Andrew. As they strolled hand in hand, heads began to turn. Villagers who had once mocked her now stared in disbelief. "Is that Evelyn?" an old neighbor whispered. "She looks so different, so beautiful. She's married," another gasped, eyeing Andrew's tall, handsome figure. Evelyn held her head high, her confidence unshaken. She greeted everyone politely, introducing Andrew as her husband. When they reached the home of an elderly woman who had been kind to her as a child, Evelyn hugged her tightly. "Auntie Kike," she said, tears in her eyes, "thank you for always believing in me when no one else did." The elderly woman smiled, her eyes moist. "Evelyn, you are always destined for greatness. I'm so proud of you." As they walked through the village, Evelyn showed Andrew the small school she had attended, the market where she had sold vegetables, and the stream where she had fetched water. Each place held memories, both bitter and sweet. But with Andrew by her side, she felt stronger than ever. As the night deepened, Evelyn and Andrew sat under the stars, surrounded by the people who had once doubted her. She felt a sense of closure she hadn't thought possible. "I'm proud of you," Andrew said, his arm around her. "You've turned pain into power and becomes a better version of yourself." Evelyn smiled, leaning against him. "I'm proud of me too," she said softly. The next morning, they returned to Lagos, but Evelyn left behind something important: hope. Her visit had shown the villagers that change was possible, and her story became a beacon of strength for those who needed it, especially the young girls who had often been told they weren't good enough. Evelyn's journey had come full circle. She had left the village broken and unsure of her worth, but returned as a woman who had found love, success, and, most importantly, herself. Her journey from the lonely village to a thriving life in the city became a tale of resilience, self-love, and the power of never giving up on yourself. Evelyn's story reminded everyone that beauty comes in many forms, and love often finds you when you least expect it. Moral lessons from Evelyn's journey: 1. Embrace your uniqueness. True beauty lies in self-acceptance and confidence. Self-love is the key to unlocking one's potential and finding happiness. 2. Resilience leads to success. No matter how difficult the circumstances, perseverance and determination can help overcome life's toughest challenges. 3. Face your past with courage. Revisiting painful memories with a sense of pride and closure can help you grow and inspire others. 4. Never give up on yourself. Even when the world doubts you, believing in your worth and capabilities can lead to a fulfilling and extraordinary life. Please subscribe for more inspiring stories like this.
Please remember to subscribe to this channel and give my video a thumbs up. And I'll see you in my next video soon. Thank you.